Holy cow! Welcome to the Charlie's Cafe 2-year special. It's crazy to think it's been another year. Feels like it went by twice as fast. Which is probably because I uploaded half as many videos. So what's with the slowdown, and where are we going from here? Well, this channel birthday party will be the perfect place to do a little recap and other behind-the-scenes 2-year special stuff. Let's start by looking back at how this second year went. We've come pretty far this year. I survived not uploading for 10 weeks, uploading me modding Nintendo games, and a few soul-crushing 80% like ratios. They all hate me. A lot has changed since I've started. Originally, I was talking about stuff in front of a tiny desk, and then I moved behind the tiny desk and on top of a giant desk. Then I finally moved off the giant desk and got a normal desk. And then I lost my normal desk. Luckily, I got it back though. It was apparently hiding underneath this tall desk. But enough of the deskapades. Let's do a little recap of this year. Starting with the whole less uploads thing, where in the first year I uploaded 46 videos, this year I only uploaded 21. So I went from almost weekly uploads on average to almost bi-weekly uploads. But the idea behind uploading less frequently is that the videos are of higher quality. Remember how a second ago I said the idea behind uploading less frequently is that the videos are of higher quality? Well, it turns out that's not actually how it works. I do think this year's videos generally turned out really good, except for this one and this one and this one and this one, but I don't think taking my time was really helping that much. Cause when I started, when I made some of my favorite videos looking back, I was uploading them weekly. Heck, faster than that sometimes. And slower than that sometimes. I wasn't super consistent, but it was always my goal to have no more than 6 days between uploads. But eventually, around February, I decided that I should spend 2 weeks on a video. And it certainly paid off. I think that's still one of my best videos. And then I decided to spend 2 weeks on a video about how strong Wario is. I probably didn't need 2 weeks for that, but I was still relatively consistent, kind of relatively, trying to spend either a single week or 2 weeks on each upload. And when the 1-year special came around, I looked back with disappointment on some of my weekly uploads, and thought that the pressure to upload on a schedule might have caused me to autopilot some less than ideal videos. So I came to the conclusion that removing a strict schedule and uploading projects whenever they were finished was the right move for year 2. And initially, I can't really say I was wrong. The next 2 slower uploads are still some of my favorites so far. And it wasn't like I couldn't still upload weekly here and there, which is what I did for the next few videos, until I came across another project that was gonna take a while. This was the purpose of removing the deadline, to give myself leeway for longer projects like the track revamps, a series that has really had a big impact on the channel. You could almost call it a nuclear impact, because it killed all signs of life on the channel for a while there. But these were the first type of video that I could upload and consistently get high numbers on. And fortunately enough, Nintendo never smashed that cease and desist button, so the series was able to keep going. While on one hand, I look back on these videos knowing they're good videos and happy they did well, I also can't help but see the dates next to them. November 24th, December 17th, January 19th. I was uploading some of my best performing content so far, and I was uploading it monthly. This meant that there was no real winter content this year, unless you count the DK Pass revamp having snow textures in it as a Christmas special. After this period of scarcity, I really felt obligated to rapid fire some weekly uploads. And almost validating my previous theory, these videos friggin' sucked. I liked the Waluigi video and the Boomblocks video, but the others felt underwhelming. So I swung things in the other direction and started a project updating Coconut Mall. And in just 72 days, it was finished. This period of 2.5 months started out fun, but lost its charm around the 30-day mark. And it really lost its charm when the project was finished and I had 100 gigabytes of footage to edit into a 40-minute long video. The Toad's Factory video was the last revamp for a while, but the Coconut Mall video may just be the last revamp. I would love to do more projects like it, but maybe just something on a smaller scale that won't completely kill the channel for 10 weeks. And just like I had done before, I went back to weekly uploads. But this time, it wasn't just to make up for a slower upload. I decided that this whole no schedule thing had gone too far. Sure, that Coconut Mall video is probably one of my best, but is it worth the 10 videos I could have made in its place? I could have made 5 videos about how strong Wario is. And who's to say that video should have taken 10 weeks? If I had a 4-week limit, I know for a fact I could have still put something good out. Just a couple weeks ago, I uploaded the Lethal Lava Land theory, which was a fairly technical and honestly precarious project. I had a week to come up with some way to expand this super basic level, and then model it to an acceptable point and generate enough renders. But of course, because I had to upload that week, it happened. If I gave myself the time time, this would have been a 2-week video at least, and it probably would have been less creative because I wouldn't have had to work within that short time frame. And as for projects like the DSi repair video, I can still split those into multiple parts. That's not to say I'll make a video and then cut it in half, but I'll make videos on the project as it progresses, which actually gives me more options to continue a project for longer or revisit it later. But with all of that out of the way, I'm ready to announce that this year, I will be uploading 52 videos. One video every week for the next year. Hopefully, I don't know, I'm not omniscient. A giant desk could fall on me at any moment. But the plan is to return to a weekly upload schedule like I originally set out to do when I created this channel. I think having a little bit of structure and limitations could be a very good thing. That's right, screw you, year one me. I'm not slowing down to avoid posting garbage. If I have to risk garbage uploads to keep things going, so be it. Yes, it's nice to have consistent outreach, and yeah, it sucks to not get any new viewers. Have patience. Over time, those zeros really add up. But what I've seen over the last year is that even videos from my first year that I made in a single week still have the potential to do well almost 2 years later. And videos I upload now still have the potential to net -1 subscribers upon posting. Those -1s really add up. Well, now that we've done the recap, I think it's time to look back at some videos that didn't end up getting posted. The most recent example being just last week. What I did post turned out alright, but it was sort of a last-minute replacement for a different video. See, I got the bright idea to try and 3D print my own 3DS XL cover. So I took dimensions and modeled something out that should have worked, if it were about a centimeter shorter. Turns out there wasn't quite enough room to print it, so I decided to just print half of it. 6 renditions later, and I realized that you need both halves for it to actually click onto the 3DS. And so thus is the tale of what I was going to do last week, but didn't. And just a couple months ago, I started working on a Destiny 2 video, in which I strategically try my absolute best to enjoy the game again as a player who's really fallen out with it. And ironically enough, that video never came through. I did actually enjoy the game a decent bit more, and wrote some jokes and a little bit of a script. But no matter how much I tried, the game still felt like something that was no longer worth the time that it demanded. I could see myself returning to this video, or doing something else Destiny related in the future, but for now, that video's not quite happening. And even before this, back in December, I started working on a pretty interesting video. The plan was to reimagine the Cool Mountain level from Super Mario 64. I was gonna try and expand upon it in as many ways as possible, but eventually the idea became too scattered, and I decided to put it on hold until next year. But if I come back to that video this winter, I'll probably do it more like a Mario 64 theory, where I focus on doing a 3D model that represents possible extra areas and facets of the level. I'm sure I'll return to all of these ideas at some point in the future. Speaking of the future, let's see what's on the horizon this year in the second annual Cafe Direct. An exciting new entry in the track revamping series. We will be fixing the default text on the Delfino Dream sign, and bringing back the cheese grater ramp. Also in development, a sequel to a fan favorite, Membership Announcement 2. A fun twist on the same membership announcement. And finally, something people have been requesting for some time now, the long-awaited 3-year special. Stay tuned for the announcement of the release date. Okay, no more announcements. Go watch the bloopers now. What lay beneath that plastic cover was something terrible. A ghastly revelation it was, and oh how cruel to only show itself now. It seemed the good news was almost as bad as the good news. Okay. So I guess this project was... Is it recording? No. So I gave up. And so I gave up. But as far as I know, this project should be as simple as... And this week, I'm here to update an even less Mario Kart Classic track. And this week, I'm here to update an even less I won't stand for it. It's still cool that there's this level of detail outside in this. It's still cool that there's this. This cup starts with Neo. Ow. After that is the banana cup, starting out with dry dye. Then you reset their position in a single frame, so that the animation loops seamlessly, and the stairs seem to continuously... Holy crap. First, I've got to give it a checkout counter and stop these mysterious walls. It's not even what it says at all. I've noticed that the best way to unwrap slightly complex objects is to select... I wish I could select components of this slightly complex script I've written. At this point, That means I'm saving 1,784 polygons this way. Okay, But anyways, this project ended up actually... I think that these videos are a really cool opportunity for a sort of open, but overall, this level creator is really impressive. Pretty impressive. Sorry, level creator. I've heard it's got kind of a toxic player base. Oh, what's it hurt? I think Bash Party can be great if you're looking for multiplayer. I think Bash Party can be great if you're looking for physics-based multiplayer madness. But, Plus, you probably won't be able to get any character upgrades anytime soon, because the cheapest is 60 coins, and the most expensive is... What the heck am I saying? The difference in character playstyles and the variety of enemies and power-ups leaves plenty of room for dynamic multiplayer, anti-gameplay. It feels so wrong that they were removed not as a design choice, but instead as a latch. See, about 2 years ago, I made a video reviewing Adventure Time Hey Ice King. Why'd You Steal Our Garbage for the 3DS. It's quickly become one of my all-time favorite 3DS games, and stood in stark contrast. About 2 years ago, I made a video reviewing Adventure Time Hey Ice King, Why'd You Steal Our Garbage for the 3DS. It's one of my all-time favorite 3DS games, and stood in... About 2 years ago, I made a video reviewing Adventure Time Hey Ice King, Why'd You Steal Our Garbage for the 3DS. It was one of my all-time favorite 3DS games, and stood in stark contrast to another game. It was one of my favorite 3DS games of all time, and stood in stark contrast to another Adventure Time game. It was one of my all-time favorite 3DS games, and stood in stark contrast to another Adventure Time game on the 3DS. And stood in stark contrast to another 3DS Adventure Time game. A couple of years ago, I made a video reviewing Adventure Time Hey Ice King, Why'd You Steal Our Garbage. It was one of my all-time favorite 3DS games, and stood in stark contrast to another game. Looks like a new Nintendo game just hit the store. You've got that $60 you've been meaning to spend. Everybody loves Minecraft. It's calming, it's nostalgic, it's something else. Well, that's what I'd like to see. Let me know if you agree or if you think I got it all wrong. Is Minecraft really missing something, or... I really appreciate you watching. Thanks. That's enough bloopers for now, because it's time for an unannounced Q&A, where I'll be answering you guys' questions you've been asking over the last couple of years. Andrew Orders asks on the Coconut Mall track revamp, can you drive in it? Nope. Julian Meyer asks on the Dark Moon boss tier list, what about the Scarescraper bosses? Oh yeah. Byte X asks on my controversial Terraria video, heard of AT Launcher? To which I replied, anti-tank? Second question, is that a threat? Commander Blackheart asks, what about the Scarescraper bosses? Okay, so I didn't include them on the list, I forgot. Rakeen X7 asks on my Terraria video, Minecraft Java Edition? I don't know. Waluigi number 1 asks, what about the what the heck, holy crap. And now for the long requested Minecraft 3DS review. You guys have been really wanting this. Actually, you guy, MCTM. And finally, I got my hands on a real physical, legal copy of Minecraft for the 3DS. $38? Sure thing. Let me just pop in the real life physical game that I didn't download and boot up the authentic file straight off the cartridge. Minecraft 3DS is like Minecraft, but it's on the 3DS. It's kind of like having a 3DS, but with Minecraft on it. Minecraft 3DS takes advantage of the 3DS by running Minecraft on it. Well, that's going to conclude the 2-year special. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you're excited for this next year. It'll be interesting to see what weekly uploads bring. Heck, I made this video in a single week, so it's definitely possible to do slightly larger scale videos in that time frame. I really can't thank you guys enough for watching what I make. I'm really excited to see what this next year is going to bring. Anyways, I appreciate you watching. Thanks.